You're still watching TVC Breakfast. It's now time for us to let you know everything that is trending in the world of social media and more. And the only one that can give us that information from Monday through to Friday, she makes sure that we get accurate information. She's standing by. Good morning, Olamide.
Good morning, Ria. Now, Ria, yesterday, Ibrahim introduced me very blandly, very dryly. He said, Olamide is standing by. And I said, if Ria was here, she would have done justice to this intro. So I'm happy you're back.
All right.
Take it away. Now you grow wings, yeah?
Let's have a look at what everyone's talking about this morning. Good morning, Nigeria. Like I always say, TVC has a finger on the pulse and our eyes on the streets. And here on the Trending Now segment, my team and I do our best, and it's our absolute pleasure to bring you all, or at least some, of the trending stories that are shaping the world that you and I live in. We begin today with this troubling news, where a public school building at Odokekere in Ikorodu, Lagos State, reportedly collapsed while pupils were attending lectures yesterday morning. Now, the school is owned by the Lagos State government, and a video shared online by a witness indicated that no student was injured, as all of them luckily escaped to safety. But this incident has sparked concern amongst residents and parents, highlighting the importance of regular maintenance of school buildings to ensure the safety of our children. We've said it time and time again, we lack a maintenance culture in this country. But let's have a look at social media. Luckily, no children were harmed, but I thought it was important to raise awareness. Demi says, a government-owned school collapsed on pupils during class. This is criminal negligence, not an accident. You collect taxes, pass budgets, cut ribbons, and children pay with their lives. This is disgraceful. And Hot Takes with Ajoke had this to say. She says, the portion of the perimeter fence that is still standing is wet, halfway up soaked with water. Look at the quality of the collapse. Debris is mainly sandy, and it points to the quality of the brickwork, and the cement input is low. Should the school be shut down while repair work is ongoing? Team, we've discussed the lack of maintenance culture we often have in this country, and it's led to, several failings. You have POPs collapsing on people's heads, building foundations, falling, in real time. It's very, very disturbing. I believe that the Ministry of Education, this is a call to action for them, don't you think, Etoma, that they should go around, they need to do building audits, they need to do building maintenance, because this could have been fatal.
For the incident in Ikorodu, maintenance is not even what came to mind. Who is that government official that approved that that building is good enough? Because the contractor definitely did something really poor, and somebody okayed it, and the contractor was paid. And if not for, do I call it luck, we would have lost children. We would have lost children. Because one contractor wants to make some extra money, and he wants to do that in collision with some government officials. We need to be more responsible. Finally, no matter what we think, we need to be more responsible and do contracts, especially when it has to do with building structures, to ensure that those structures are well built before we approve them for payments.
Well, Olamide, this is a very sad one, and honestly speaking, we need to do better in our country, Nigeria. I would really hammer on the issue of maintenance. First of all, of course, we can see that that building is not such of a solid building, which, the authorities that, made sure that that building was like that and students were inside, they should be held accountable. But let's just talk about our maintenance culture. I feel like if we were maintaining this building regularly, at least you will have seen that there's a crack or something will have happened. But oftentimes we set up things and we just leave it to abandon like that. Not to forget that we spoke about the National Stadium as well. Like, look at what has happened to it. It's so sad that we see things like this happen, and these are children that went to school, our future leaders, our presidents, our lawyers of tomorrow. Imagine if something had happened to them. Talking about buildings falling down, let's even leave schools aside. Even houses, landlords are not even maintaining their houses. POPs are falling down, tankers are falling down and killing people. There's a lot of things that need to be done in Nigeria, but most importantly, let's stop endangering the lives of our citizens, of our children. This is a sad one, and I hope it serves, as a notice for us to really check the schools. Some of the schools have cracks in the building, but because we don't check, we don't even know what happens until we wait, until something happens and everybody rushes there. We need to change that. It's 2026.
Thank God we are not sitting here and mourning the lives lost, to this unwarranted disaster that happened, yesterday in Ikorodu. We need to ask questions, who as Etoma has, said, who approved the building, who is the local government chairman, who is the principal of the school, so many questions need to be asked. How much do we do, we check the buildings across the states, not just houses, but citadel of learning, where we have young kids, future of tomorrow. It's so sad, and it's a dent on the image of Lagos State, at large, and even Nigeria as a whole. When people internationally, because social media, transports everything so fast, and people outside of the country be like, I want my children to come back to Nigeria. I want them to even go to public school so that they mix and they understand the culture of this nation. But by the time they begin to hear this or see this, the fear, the scare will always be there. So we need to do so much. So much is left to be desired, by the government as a whole. Absolutely,
and I truly believe that somebody needs to be held accountable and tried for this, because it would act as a public deterrent to people who are neglecting, public spaces and endangering our lives. Thank you so much for your input, team. Yeah. Moving on into the world of social media, Alhaji Musliu Ayinde Akinsanya, popularly known as MC Oluomo, was present at the Zone 4 Zonal Delegates Conference of the National Union of Road Transport Workers, the NURTW, that was held in Ilorin on Wednesday, January 14th. Now, videos from the conference have circulated widely online, showing the NURTW president arriving with his entourage, although attention quickly shifted to his address to the union members. In a now viral clip, MC Oluomo is seen reading from a prepared note in English, explaining the purpose of the conference, including the election of officers to oversee the zone's affairs. But this footage shows him kind of struggling at several points while reading, and it's a moment many Nigerians say they have rarely seen in a public setting. Have a look at this video.
Progress of national progress. Are you all to focus on the right of the union and resting in former glory, or us to work?
Well, the clip you just watched has sparked intense online debate, not just about MC Oluomo, but about what Nigerians truly expect from leaders who wield significant influence despite limited formal education. And it does raise a broader question. In a country where power often comes from street influence rather than institutions, should leadership be judged by fluency, competence, or control? Let's see what you have to say about this. Thompson Lomi says, but he tried. He's a driver and never denied that he did not go to school, but he knows how to drive. He knows his work and he knows how to relate with his people. English is just a language and should not be seen as a barrier in a gathering where other languages can flourish. Very balanced. Shegun says, I don't mean to be mean to him or disrespect his intelligence, but keep in mind that this guy is leading a multi-billion-dollar sector in Nigeria. Iwi says, he should have addressed them in Yoruba language that he's comfortable with. There's nothing wrong in speaking in your dialect. Benny, I agree. Demi says, why is he reading when he clearly doesn't know how to? Just speak from your head. You've been doing that for a long time. Why try to do something you don't know how to do? This is a ridiculous spectacle. Team, there's so much to unpack here. My body is shaking. Because it is very elitist, I believe, to judge somebody based on their fluency or their eloquence on a language that is not their first language. English is not our mother tongue. It was given to us by the colonial masters. That's one thing to put into context. Number two, this is a man who understands his people. The union members trust him to lead them. I don't believe it matters whether he can speak English fluently or read the best or not. I think what matters is his competence and his ability to lead that organization in the best possible way. I don't know when fluency became a marker or a metric for being a good leader. Etoma.
Well, if speaking English is one of the responsibilities of leadership, you that have taken that position of leadership should learn how to speak English.
English is different from reading English, Etoma.
Oh, no, so if he has that deficiency, why was the speech written in English and given to him? Do you get what I'm saying? You know, he would have used Yoruba, he would have used Pidgin English, he would have used any other language apart from English. And why did he insist on reading? He is very good at talking off the cuff, so he would have used that. Well, it's difficult, it's neither here nor there, but that was a spectacle. I mean, he's a man that is well known and very popular, and a big leader. that is taking care of a very lucrative sector of the Nigerian economy.
Yeah.
So somebody would expect him to be a little bit above board.
E for what? Effort. And he has put effort. He tried to do it. Okay. You see, when it comes to things like this, if MC Oluomo was reading Yoruba badly, I would have had a problem with it. He's a Yoruba man. He's not hidden the fact that, you know, this man has shared his story, how he used to be a driver, how he grew up. He doesn't speak English perfectly, so what? The most important thing is that he's getting the job done. And the way I see people castigating him, even the people that say they can speak English, how well do you think you can speak English as well? English is not our mother tongue, you know. He decided to read it like that. He wanted to put in an effort. I appreciate the effort. I was understanding what he was saying in one way or the other, but he is a Yoruba man, and that is his first language. I feel like you cannot use English to test somebody's competence. We have seen his competence. This man has been able to deliver. He's gone grassroots. He's been able to communicate with his people in the language that they best understand. Now, let me ask you, when he's speaking to his people, all of those people, does he speak English? No. Do the people understand English properly? No. He speaks Yoruba and they understand it properly. Let's let MC Oluomo rest. Thank you. E for energy. E for effort.
E for progress.
Please rest. Let's let him rest, please.
I think the issue here is neither here nor there. Because one thing is that leadership, we understand that English is our lingua franca. Even though I'm one who would say that your ability to speak English does not show how intelligent you are.
Yes.
Right? But one thing about leadership, there is also something desired of leadership. If you look at great leaders of this world, most of them are demagogues. You know, when they speak, they are able to win arguments because they're also able to speak in certain language that everyone understands. MC Oluomo is not only presiding on the Yoruba NURT wing, he's presiding over the national, wing of the national body of the NURTW, meaning that there are Igbo-speaking people, there are Hausa-speaking people, there is Yoruba and other languages. So it should be able to use one particular language which it would address them with, and that would have been better off if he had used Pidgin. Because if you use Pidgin, everyone understands it. So no one is going to crucify you if you had used Pidgin. As you said, Rhea, if he had struggled with his mother tongue, which I so elevate, not just Yoruba, Hausa, or any other language that is indigenous, because when Xi Jinping speaks, Xi Jinping, all those language, you feel like he's not speaking English, and everyone, we just pay attention to the screen, like there will be a translator. It's okay.
Let's also remember, team, that education is a privilege. But on the other hand, I trust and hope that MC Oluomo has the intelligence and the wherewithal to pack people in his team that can read the fine print of big contracts and an important fine print and information that is at stake. Thank you so much for your input, team. Moving on into the world of social media, a young girl, now identifying herself as Anu Adeleke, is claiming to be the first daughter of Nigerian music star Davido, and she's now publicly asking for a DNA test, reopening a paternity controversy that has been lingering for some years, actually. Now, in a post shared on her Instagram page on Thursday, Anu spoke candidly about her childhood and appealed directly to the singer, saying that she wants to establish her identity. As she approaches her teenage years, she described the letter as a personal decision written without influence from family members. Anu Adeleke, as she's being called now, also revealed that she faced bullying from as young as 6 years old, with her classmates mocking her whenever she mentioned Davido as her father. She said that this experience took a toll on her mental health, and it led her to seek professional support, even as she continued to excel academically and become a class prefect. Now, her request for a paternity test comes despite earlier claims by Davido's former lawyer, Prince Bobo Ajudua, who stated in January last year that DNA tests conducted at 2 reputable hospitals, including one selected by Anu's family, showed that David isn't her father. He also noted that Davido's family, including David's father, Dr. Deji Adeleke, has been aware of the situation and that the test results have conflicting narratives. It's very interesting to note that the family has gotten involved, and they have said we've conducted 2 DNA tests at reputable institutions, and it has come out that he is not the father. But let's have a look at social media. A lot of people were talking about this. Daily Pip says, David really out here collecting kids like Grammy Awards at this point. You're wrong for that. I'll take one more tweet. Hepsiba Behula says, wow, so emotional. She's wise, beautiful, and intelligent if she truly wrote this by herself. This kind of maturity at 15 really touches the heart. Hoping she gets the clarity and peace that she deserves, whether the results go one way or the other. I'm sending her lots of love and strength. Tim, I don't know if I should have read that in Yoruba. You know, it's not, English is not my mother tongue. Still on our last issue. Yeah. But what do you make of this? I don't think there's much to talk about here, Etoma. I believe that science speaks for itself, and the data and the results of the DNA test will show if they decide to take a third one.
But DNA testing has been done twice already, and the result has been negative. So where's this coming from? Okay, maybe just to clear the air, I would appeal that another one be done. And this one will finally put the story to rest.
Yeah, they say only a mother knows who the true father of her child is. So I think that at this point, instead of her even bringing all these things, she should go and sit down and talk to the mother, you know, and find out who her father is. Because Davido has said something. He said, you guys know my father. He's even the one that forced me to go and do the DNA test. You know, according to him, they are delicate. We do not play with our blood outside. And I know that that's something about Davido. You know, if there was any line that this girl was his child, you know, Davido would not throw his child away. We've seen him, you know, several times the way he is with his children. So I think that this girl should go have a deep, you know, heart-to-heart talk with her mother and really identify who her father is. Because if these tests have come out negative, then maybe another person in their delicate family as well. It's
a tough one and traumatic one for the young girl, the brilliant lady, young lad. You know, it's one thing. Davido said that they've done about 3, different DNAs. You know, 1 from his own chosen hospital and 2 others, you know, from selected by the girl's family. So the mother, I don't know if there's something hidden anywhere. It just needs to come out. And if truly, in fact, it's so difficult to talk about because when it comes to paternity, it's a very, very difficult thing for one who is in the middle of it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for your input, team. Moving on into the world of social media still. Doris Ogala, the Nollywood actress and content creator, is trending online after an emotional video surfaced online where she opened up about her struggles behind the scenes. Now, in the clip, the actress revealed that while many people believed that she was fine and creating content, she was privately dealing with emotional distress. In the video, Doris was seen fighting back tears, and she said that people had no idea that she was actually losing it deep down. This is what she had to say.
Okay, but it's not okay. It's not okay to have a lot of miscarriages in your life.
Now, that video has generated massive reactions on social media, with many Nigerians, of course, expressing concern and using this moment to talk about mental health, the pressure that we place on public figures, and the difference between online appearances and real-life experiences, because there is a difference. Social media is in real life. Let's have a look at social media. Rotimi Oladipupo says, sincerely, this babe needs to take a break first from chasing Pastor Chris. Secondly, from social media, I understand how people can become broken when they feel used by people that they trusted. But once a deed is done, the solution is to find and undergo a healing process. The process is not available on the internet. Most times, seeking social media validity will only end up fueling more toxicity. I'll take one more tweet on this. Introvert says, this woman needs to take time off social media and perhaps go to rehab. She seems mentally stressed. I understand what she's gone through, so she should consider spending some weeks in rehab, not just for severe cases, but to get herself together. Please, Doris, no be only mad people they rehab just to get yourself together, though I haven't heard her own part of the story. I actually like her for real. A very interesting team. Very quickly, because we're running out of time, Doris Ogala seems to be paying the price, the cost for visibility. Very quickly.
Yes, popularity is a responsibility. It's a load. If you can't carry it, don't venture into it. And she's just told the story of almost all Nigerians that are doing public work, broadcasters, content creators, and the rest. We want to look good outside. Meanwhile, we are carrying a heavy load. The difference is that we know how to deal with it.
Break up, no be your mate. I really understand what this woman is going through. It's not easy. And I think that we shouldn't laugh at her because sometimes we don't know the extent of which mental health can put somebody. But not to worry, I'm following the story, so we'll give you guys update on it.
If you're looking for help on social media, I'm sorry, you may not get it. So whoever is going to help her probably should signify and help her because this is huge.
While you're creating your digital persona, make sure you're taking care of your real self. Thank you so much for your input, team.